Queen. Do you like Lizzo, Scott?
I do, actually.
I love Lizzo. What's your favorite Lizzo song?
Don't ask me that, like, on the spot. You could ask me my favorite songs from the 80s and 90s when I was born. I still would, like, blank out at you.
Really?
Yeah, like, you ever been somewhere where they're like, what's your favorite song? Like, real quick, and you're going, and
You know why? It's because you're not supposed to say your actual favorite song. You always say, Don't Stop Believing.
No matter what?
Yeah. Don't Stop Believing.
I'm always thinking, like, Baby Got Back or something.
Baby Got Back. Okay.
Okay, is that too old for you?
No, it isn't. What about there's that I Get Knocked Down song. I get knocked down, back it up again.
Yeah.
That one's a good one too.
It is.
Yeah.
I could throw out and be like, can't touch this or something, but then people would be like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, MC Hammer. They're like, Hammer what?
Hammer time.
Yeah, they're too young, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was back when, it was cool to listen to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's Lizzo and people we've never heard of.
I don't know. I caught myself listening to some 70s music the other day.
Did you even know the words to any of them?
Yes. Once in a while. Once in a while, I know the words. And so my daughter loves that song, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to sing that right now?
I wanted to, but then I stopped myself. I know that's why you tell. I was like, okay.
That's why I looked at you. I was like, oh, she's going to start breaking out a song.
Yeah. I know every word to that song. Doesn't everybody?
No.
What?
I have kids that have grown up listening to that, and I do not. My wife would probably know them all.
Yeah.
Yes. My daughters probably would know all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son wouldn't, but I feel like my daughter, maybe it's a girl thing.
Maybe it is.
Because I don't know it, and I would bet my son, if I called him right now on the air and said, sing me that song, all he would sing was Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, and that's it.
Really?
Yes. But my oldest daughter, Ariel, and Brianna, yeah, they definitely, Caleb probably would, and Skylar, who knows that, because she's my youngest, so she might not. But it's a girl. You girls know it.
Interesting.
Yeah, you guys remember those kinds of things.
Okay.
Guys can't remember that kind of stuff.
Guys don't remember those things?
How many guys do you see at concerts like actually singing along with it versus girls?
I guess you're right.
You go to a Kid Rock concert or
never thought about that before.
Yeah. There's people I know that love Kid Rock that are listening right now, and they go to his concerts all the time. And I imagine she is singing to the Kid Rock song, and he, a.k.a. Jeff, is probably not. But I'm willing to bet you she's singing to the songs because she's a girl.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of things that guys or girls don't do, let's talk about brakes.
Yeah. Nobody does them. Best one does them.
Best one does.
Best one and Sitting Tire do brakes.
I say my boyfriend, he's like counting down the millimeters and the miles on his car before he has to get his brakes and rotors changed. He's like, I've got like 538 miles left before I need to really get them changed. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Just go get your brakes changed.
He's a procrastinator.
Yes, he is. He is.
Yes. So what we tell people is between 3 and 4 millimeters is when you want to replace the brakes. Yeah. Because what will happen is if you don't, and the brake pad dissipates, and there's a metal backing plate that holds the brake pad together, when it digs into your rotor and it creates a lot of heat and friction, it locks your caliper up. So the caliper is what squeezes the brake pads onto the rotors. So if you don't change them when you should, your bill is going to go up significantly because you have to change more parts. So tell him to stop procrastinating and change them before it costs more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you want to be safe out there.
Well, so a guy told me at the Best One tire, or the Sidney tire. The Sidney tire.
No, I was going to say, the guy at the Best One would have been me. So the Sidney tire. So are we going to blame Riley or are we going to blame Matt?
I'll go with Matt.
Okay, because he's been in here and talking to you before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he was saying to me that a lot of the time they don't make, don't quote me on this one.
Oh gosh, I know what you're going to say. Just by the hand motion you're doing, I know what you're going to say.
Well, then you better say it because...
Is it the squealer tab?
Yeah.
Yes. So back when I was younger, they put a squealer tab on there, and it would make the nails down a chalkboard sound, every time you would brake, and that would be your warning, like, you need to change your brakes.
Yeah.
And now, because of the economy and because people are trying to save as much money as possible manufacturing, a lot of the brake pads don't have squealers on them. So you don't get a warning anymore. And a lot of people come in and they say, hey, it just started. And of course, it's usually like a man and a woman, and the woman's up at the counter because 85 to 90% of people that bring their cars in are women. I don't know why, but that is a weird statistic. Yeah. So the guys are always kind of hanging back, and they go, hey, Scott, it just started grinding, like, and the guy's like back behind him a little bit going, like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But they do. You literally get no warning. Matt is correct on that. So kudos to Matt for telling you that. He is correct. Yes.
No, he was really good at explaining it because he was like trying to explain to my brother-in-law that he can't wait that long.
No, because it's going to cost you more money. So be safe, especially right now. It's starting to get warm outside. Kids are going to be out running around. And everyone knows when you're driving through subdivisions, you're obviously speed limit's 25 on most of them. You want to drive significantly slower, but you don't want anybody to run out in front of you. You see a ball coming, you know what's coming after that. So make sure your brakes are in really good shape. So when you need to stop on a dime, you can stop on a dime.
Yeah. And is it true? Tell me about, is it rotors?
Correct.
That rotors, like Matt told me. I'm so smart now.
That we're quoting Matt again. He's not even here, so I hope he's listening as we're using his knowledge.
I hope he's not, because he's going to be like, "That's not what I said." But he told me that they don't make the rotors as good as they used to.
That is also very true.
And so, like, that you don't want to let your brakes run down because then it's going to ruin your rotors faster.
He's exactly right. So the metal that was in them again back when I was younger versus what's in there now. The material in there is significantly less. They make it where it's lighter. Lighter doesn't dissipate the heat very well. You know, you want like a good solid thick pad, and they just make them very inexpensive now. So Matt, again, maybe that's why he's the manager over at Sidney Tire, because he is so smart. Matt again is correct. So Matt, you're 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but yes,
he taught me something.
He did. So, and when you change brake pads, you know, a lot of times you want to change the rotors. You get that new good pad and that old kind of soft rotor, and you kind of mush them together, and they just don't really jive together real well. So they're going to make noise. The new pad's going to warp the rotor faster. So you want to make sure that you change them in pairs is the best way to do it. It's the most responsible way to do it.
It is the most responsible way to do it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be driving, and I don't want you to hit me, and nobody wants to get hit by somebody, so do them together in a pair and do them responsibly. Yeah. Keep yourself safe.
When you say pair, though, like you do the rotor and the brake, you can do the front, and if you don't always have to do the back.
Yeah, because 80% of the stopping power of a car, 80%. Okay, so I'm going to trick you on this.
Okay.
80% of the stopping power is the front, 20% is the rear. So when you hit the brakes, you use more front than you do rear. Now, Subaru has been reamping the way that they're doing it, because they're braking, the rear is braking more than the front on newer Subarus. The reason why is because the motor's in the front of the car, and we know in your Jeep, she's definitely done this, you guys listening. When you hit the brakes, your whole Jeep dips down, and your back wheels are lifted up because the motor's pushing down, everything's down. You don't have a lot of control when you're turning because it's in the front. So Subaru's like, well, if we brake the rear first, push the rear down, then the front, it stops you better by braking in the rear. So Subaru has started to do that.
Ooh, Subaru's smart.
Yeah, I didn't know that, actually. I'm not even going to lie. I called a friend of mine at a Subaru dealer, and I'm like, why are the rear brakes on this wore out and the fronts are still like really new? And he goes, you really don't know? And I said, no, that's why I called you. That's why you have friends in the automotive industry. If I don't know, I'm going to call somebody and find the answer for you. And that's when he decided to educate me on Subaru braking more in the rear than in the front.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we talked about brakes today.
Yes,
I hope that everybody stays safe this weekend because it's a holiday weekend.
Yes, we don't need anyone, if the Easter Bunny is out places.
Yeah, be careful for the Easter Bunny while you're driving.
Did you know he was at Best One today?
I did know that, and I missed him.
Yes, he was there from 10 to 1. Kids came out. It's funny when you see a kid with a normal expression, and then they see something like that, and their whole face smiles and glows, and it's absolutely amazing.
That's good. I'm so glad he was there.
Yes.
So you had a good time?
We had a great time.
You had a lot of kids?
Kids come out all the time to see, stuff like that we do. We, again, with the community, with Jeff, the way that he likes people to come in, because he doesn't care if you come in and you don't spend money at all. If you want to come in and hang out and see like the Easter Bunny or the Grinch or whatever, happens to be there at that season, they're really big about just people coming in and just interacting with the community because they've been involved in it for so long.
Yeah, that's good. Jeff is always involved in everything.
He really is, and
he really enjoys it.
There's so many people that tell me, they're like, "Hey, I saw Jeff, and I told him how much we appreciate things that you guys do in the community and stuff." So it's really nice when community members see him out and they tell him thanks. Sometimes I think he thinks maybe he's not out enough. But I think a lot of people see him out and they just don't recognize it. But I think more and more people are recognizing him and letting him know how much they really appreciate what he does, what him and his family do for this community.
You know what he did for me last year?
Bought you a goldfish.
No.
Okay, I was guessing.
That was like the weirdest guess
I
ever.
Literally just made that up in my mind that fast.
Yeah, he came in and taught me about beekeeping.
So him and the other person, they have bees. And believe it or not, she has given us some honey. And I think Jeff wants to charge us for the honey. She is a lot sweeter with the honey than he is.
Oh, so
but he is.
So I need to hit him up for some honey.
I love hearing stories about how a bee gets like caught in his suit and it like will sting him. And he will and he's in a suit. So how do you get it off? You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's scary.
Has he ever taken you out there?
No. I don't want to be near him.
You should go. You should get on a suit and you should go. I think that would be so cool. I've never done it.
We can make a TikTok of it. That would be fun.
It'd be a TikTok only if the bee accidentally stung you. Because then you'd be like flailing around like bees, and then you'd run real far away.
I don't want to be stung.
No, I know, but that would be a funnier TikTok if you were to get stung. But
so I guess the moral of that story is we got Jeff, the jack of all trades.
He really is. And if you need bees removed, I believe there was people that have called him because they've had a huge nest.
Yeah.
And like he'll go look and see if he can remove them for you. He's really knowledgeable about it. Like tells me how he puts them to sleep and like the 2 queens, if you get 2 queens versus 1 and what they do. And
yep, he was telling me about it all. He was teaching me all the ways. I'm gonna have to have him on the show again.
He's very knowledgeable with that. Very knowledgeable. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we should go now. People are probably like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, you just get off on a tangent. You talk about important people and the things that they do for the community in your life. And
we appreciate it.
Yeah, and you just kind of share everything that they do.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you.
And it's a great day today. The sun's out. It's wonderful today.
It is absolutely wonderful. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful Easter.
Yes.
Easter weekend.
Great weekend, and hope everyone finds lots of eggs wherever they go.
All right. Thanks for being on the show. See you next week.
You got it, girl. See ya.